Shin splints are one of the first injuries that I got when I started running. This actually stopped me from running for 6 months. The really annoying thing about it is it's a really preventable running injury. And in just a second, we're going to move into what you need to do to make sure you don't get shin splints or fix them if you have them right now.
But just before we get into that, what actually are shin splints? Now, it's usually pain on the front of the shin. The proper name for it is medial tibia stress syndrome. It's often caused by stress of the bone and the muscle and tendons around it. Now, the reason this happens is down to the increased impact you experience when you're running.
There's a difference between shin splints and a stress fracture. If you have a stress fracture, none of what we're showing you today will help. A couple of ways to tell if it might be this is if the pain is localized in one small spot. With shin splints, you tend to find the pain is all the way up the shin. The second way to tell if it might be a stress fracture is if it feels better in the morning. If you're unsure, please see your doctor or your physical therapist.
So the first thing we need to do is reduce the amount of load on the shins so they can start to recover. And yes, that is going to mean taking a temporary break from running and switching to another form of exercise that will take pressure off your shins. So we're going to replicate what your run training is looking like at the moment using different exercises. Here's what I mean. Say you're doing walk runs at the moment, 90-second walk and a 60-second run for 6 repetitions. We can replicate that on the bike with a 90-second slow spin going into a 60-second blast. The key here is to be feeling and breathing the same way you do on your runs with that same level of exertion. Likewise, if you're doing 3 30-minute steady runs a week, you could do 3 30-minute sessions on the rower at a steady pace. See what works for you and what you have access to. The key here is to take the load off your shins. Now, this doesn't mean you'll be undoing all the hard work you've already put in. Our aim here is to maintain your cardiovascular fitness so that when you get back to running, you'll be starting at the same, if not better fitness level and be in a better place to progress more quickly. This will also help you build a stronger body that is more able to cope with the stresses of running when you get back to it.
Poor ankle mobility can be a contributing factor to shin splints. If the ankle isn't mobile, it places more force on other parts of your leg when you're running, and this can aggravate the muscles around the shin. To see if you have good or poor ankle mobility, get down into a squat position like this and see if your heels are coming off the ground. If they are, then we need to improve your ankle mobility. To improve your ankle mobility, we're going to start off with 2 stretches and then some foam rolling to loosen off tight muscles, which usually result from poor ankle mobility. The 2 stretches that we recommend doing here is a soleus stretch and a kneeling shin stretch. The first one that we're going to do is a soleus stretch. Standing facing the wall about 1 meter ahead, take 1 step towards the wall with your right foot. Place both hands on the wall, bend both knees and lean forward, remembering to keep both of your heels on the floor. You want to be holding this position for 30 seconds and then switching legs and repeating on the other side. The next stretch that we're going to do is a kneeling shin stretch. This will help to stretch the muscles on the front of your shin. You must have good flexibility in your knees to do this stretch, as we'll be sitting on your heels. If this causes pain in your knees, skip it. Kneel on a mat with the tops of your feet flat on the floor and your bum over your heels. You want to be holding this position for 30 seconds.
So then from here, we want to start massaging and stretching the muscles around the tibia. Now, the first one you want to do is a shin foam roll. Work the foam roller back and forth over the muscles around the shin. You want to be using a foam roller like this one, which has got some more give in it rather than a hard one like this. You should include this in your daily routine, giving each leg about 2 to 3 minutes. You can adjust the weight that you're putting on the shin by shifting your hands. You should notice that after about 20 seconds, the pain should reduce. This will take care of the muscles around the front of the tibia, but you'll probably find that your calf muscles are also tight, which can make the pain worse. The second stretch involves working on those calf muscles. The calf is made up of 2 main muscles, the soleus and the gastroc, so we're going to get deep into those with the foam roller and ease them off. Again, 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Because you're foam rolling for about 2 to 3 minutes, we recommend switching the angle of your leg, so doing 1 minute like this, and then 1 minute like this, and then finally 1 minute like this. Try and do this most days, as it will speed up your recovery.
Now that we've stretched and increased the mobility in the ankles and foam rolled the shins and calves, we need to look at strengthening your whole lower body. What usually happens for runners, whether they're a beginner or experienced, is that when they introduce more running into their training plan or more intensity, their body will take some time to adjust to the new training volume or intensity. One of the best ways to make sure your body is ready to cope with the stresses of running and to help your shin splints is to strengthen the foot and ankle. One of the ways that you can do this is by spending more time walking around barefoot while you're at work or at home. You can also strengthen the feet, ankles and arch of your foot by adding in some calf raises. This is a really low impact exercise, making it ideal if you have shin splints. We recommend here starting with 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. When you're comfortable with that, you can move on to single leg calf raises. Again, we recommend doing 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. You could also progress this further by doing some heel to toe raises to start moving your body with a little bit more load. Once you're happy doing this and you're not getting pain, you're ready to move on to some more advanced exercises which will gently increase the load your lower body can cope with. The first exercise is a double leg hop. Work up to 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, and once this is fine, you can progress onto single leg hops. Again, work up to 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. The final progression is doing back and forward and side to side hops to really strengthen all of the areas around your shin. As you strengthen your lower body and start to think about getting back into running, you need to consider the shoes you're running, and we've produced a video which will help you to choose the right running shoe, so go and take a look at that when you finish watching this.
When you do start running again, you want to start back easy with a staged approach. To help you with this, we produced a training plan to get you started with an audio guide too. There are cues from us on what you should be doing at each stage of your run. Look for 0 to 5K in the description below. One of the key things that is going to help you as you get back into your running and make sure your shin splints don't flare up again is improving your running form. Let's hit a few areas now that will help you with your shin splints. Now, if your foot is making a slapping noise when it hits the ground, it may be that you're not running relaxed, and the chances are you're probably landing heel first too, which is known as heel striking. This is going to cause you to take bigger strides, known as overstriding, which will put more force up through the leg and could cause shin splints to flare up. The first thing is to get you running more relaxed and take some of that tension out of the shoulders. If you've ever tried hunching your shoulders and smiling, it isn't easy. That's what you're going to do now, run with a smile. Also, to keep you standing more tall through your runs, imagine a piece of string attached to the top of your head pulling you up. This will also get you looking ahead rather than down at the ground, which will help you run with better form too. The second thing is moving away from heel striking to a more mid-foot strike when you run. This will take pressure off your shins. Here's a running drill called high knees that can help with that. As you become more comfortable with a mid-foot strike, you can also try our faster feet drill, which will also help you run with better form.
If you found this video useful, hit the like button, share it with your running friends, and leave us a comment below and tell us which part is really going to help you going forward. If you're not already, hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell icon so that you don't miss a single upload too.
And just a reminder, if you've just started running and you want to be able to run your first 5K without stopping or getting injured, then click on the link in the description below, because we've put together a free follow-along running guide and plan to help you complete training pain-free and get you one step closer to your running goals.